What is up, Scrub fam? Today I have two announcer deck profiles for you guys. This is stuff I've been testing in the past week. Started releasing the booster overviews on the Patreon, so if you would like to check those out, feel free to do so. And then there's two deck profiles. So the first one I'm going to be showing is the better of the two. So if you just want to stick around for the first one, please feel free to. I'm going to be explaining the combos in the deck since this deck is very combo based. So we'll just get right into it, and yeah. So not familiar with what Announcer does. He has two permanents. The first permanent is you can only play World Tournament battle cards in your deck. So you can't play anything else unless it says World Tournament, which is what we've got here. You can see that we have like Senzu Bean, and so um, it's not restricted to extra cards, so you don't have to worry about that. You can play extra cards. You can play any extra card as long as there's like no restriction on what leader it can be played in, which I'm not sure that we have that. I can't think of anything on the top of my head that that says that. Um, so second one is that all World Tournament cards become colorless. So this Piccolo, if we wanted to hardcast him for 4, we could pay 2 blue and 2 red, stuff like that. So it comes up a lot. It'll help in this one. It'll help in the first version I made, but will be the second deck profile I will show today. Also use an auto once per turn. Um, when you play a World Tournament card, you draw one card from your deck, so it helps you. Every card in your deck basically becomes draw one, like the basic one drop boo. All your announcer stuff becomes a draw one. Hercule even becomes a draw one. Dende's a draw one. So a lot of these cards will end up plussing you 2 and even 3 if it's the first card you play, depending on if they meet the requirements. Well, that's just for Play-by-Play Pro specifically. So yeah, that's only on the front side. He's an untap 2 leader, so it's 4 or less. You get to untap 2 energy, and then the back side is the same permanent. When you attack, he draws a card, and his activate main is once per game. You can give 2 World Tournament cards in your battle area plus 5k, which can come in handy. We'll talk about it later. So we'll get right into, the card choices. We got Hercule, World Tournament King. Very, very strong card in this deck. You can +2, you can get a World Tournament Arena and then draw one card if it's your front side. A World Tournament Arena is very strong also. I'll just talk about it. With Hercule, World Tournament is activate main. Choose 2 of your World Tournament cards in your battle area. I think it's choose up to. And you give them plus 5k for the duration of the turn, which is pretty strong. You can play the one and then hold the other one, and you can give a card, 2 cards 10k, or you can split it up however you want if you have multiple bodies on the board. Hercule can also get World Tournament Arena from the drop, so this is just kind of a card to help fill out our curve and also search out the World Tournament Arena for ourselves. Announcer Ever Curious is just another card to help, with our early turns. We don't really do anything much turn 1 and 2 besides like play Dende, Announcer, and then Hercule. Um, so it's just to help us, fill out our curve a little bit better. Choose up to one card from the top 7 that's World Tournament and add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. You also draw a card if it's the first card played on an announcer's front side. Play-by-play Pro is a counterplay, and then auto. When you play them on your turn, if you have 2 World Tournament cards, you get to draw 2 cards. There's a lot of 0 for 10s in this deck, so this is just like draw 2 more 0 for 10s. Absolutely worst case. When an interesting interaction, if you're not familiar with it, if you have an energy open and your opponent swings at you and you play this card, you get to draw a card off of announcer auto. So that's one thing to be aware of. Next we got Sensu Bean, just a generically really good card. You tap an energy, untap 2, choose one card, give it 5k. Um, we're a black leader, we don't have to worry about T-End unless they're casting it for 4, which we're okay with. I'm going to skip over the juniors and go right into Dende. Dende Astute Savior is amazing. When you play him, you have to draw a card off announcer if it's the first one you play for the turn, and you're on your front side, obviously. And then you choose one card from your deck that's 5 or less. That's World Tournament, and you place it in the warp, and then you get it back at the start of your next turn. He also has to activate main. Not too familiar with it because you don't really use it that much. The only thing you can get is Test of Strength Son Goku, and you basically send it to your warp, and then you bring it back the next turn. You have to pay 2 to do that, and then so if you have Test of Strength Oob in your hand, you can play him for free, and it's just another little interesting tidbit that this deck can offer. You can also, search out your super combo too. I'm not 100% sure, but you might need to have Dende on the field still. I should really double check on that one. So, we'll get into the combos now. Obviously, we have our 4 super combos that are yellow. I'll explain in the second deck list why they're yellow in this one. So we have Son Goku Jr. and Vegeta Jr. They are, very, very strong cards. If you don't know what Vegeta Jr. is, he's activate main. You can reveal him, and then you place him at the bottom of your deck, draw a card. And then Son Goku Jr., when you play him on turn 4, you may choose one Vegeta Jr. from the bottom of your deck and then play him. And then both, I'm sorry, Son Goku Jr.'s activate main is you can untap Vegeta Jr. And then at the end of your turn, untap one energy, and then Vegeta Jr. has an auto when he's untapped or when he's restanded by Son Goku Jr. You can restand the Son Goku Jr. So these turn into 4 attacks on turn 4 if you set it up right, which in most cases you will. The only thing you really have to be aware about is stuff like Babidi, Dende, Hercule, and Announcer Ever Curious. When you shuffle your deck, you don't want to be doing this the turn before play Vegeta Jr. or Son Goku Jr. I'm sorry. So you have to be aware of that. Usually you keep the Vegeta Jr. in your hand until you want to do it, and then you put it at the bottom, and then you can, get Son Goku Jr. Well, you can get Vegeta Jr. off of Son Goku Jr. So that's just one thing to be aware about. Next, we have Test of Strength Son Goku and Test of Strength Oob Son Oob. Yeah, whatever. Um, both are similar to the Goku Vegeta Jr. Um, but instead they don't restand. They just have double strike. You get to play Oob for free, and then he chooses 2 of your opponent's battle cards of 20k or less, and then sends them to the bottom of the owner's deck. So a little bit more removal. This is like the only really removal-ish card we have in the deck. Unfortunately, they also gain 5k from Goku, so that's another thing that's super strong. I'm gonna talk about Piccolo later, but next we got Babidi the Mastermind. If you're not familiar with Babidi the Mastermind, you can choose one card from your hand and then place them on top of your deck, and then you can choose one Supreme Showdown Vegeta from your deck and play it. And then if you're not familiar with Supreme Showdown Vegeta, you may choose one card in your um, battle area. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out. Battle area, if you KO it, and then if you do that, your opponent can't activate blockers for the duration of the turn. Body also has another auto. When that card dies from one of your skills on your turn, your red World Tournament battle cards can't be KO'd for the duration of the turn. And then Son Goku gets played if he's in your hand and you kill a card with Showdown Vegeta. So you bring those 2 guys out, and then they can't be KO'd for the duration of the turn, and your opponent can activate blockers. So very strong combo. And then lastly, we have King Piccolo Limitless Power. He can choose 2 World Tournament cards from any battle area, so it could be yours or your opponent's, and you negate their skills for the duration of the turn, and then you place them in their owner's drop area. So very strong effect. He's double strike 20k, so it's just an additional attacker that we can utilize. So the early turns, like 1, 2, you want to just be like searching out like some of the pieces that you don't have, depending on what you have in your deck. So let's say you don't have a Test of Strength Oob and you have a Test of Strength Son Goku, you can find that. Sorry about that. So yeah, you can do that, and then you just gotta piece together, your combos. And then turn 3, you wanna do Test of Strengths on Goku Oob. Turn 4, you wanna do the Junior combo, and then if you're not awakened, you can awaken. You have 2 beans in your hand, you can untap 2, and then you can play the Babidi package, and then you will untap an energy at the end of your turn. So turn 4, you're not tapping out, you'll still have 1 energy open, which is amazing. And then turn 5, you can, play the Showdown package for 4, and then you'll have an energy open. So it's very strong, and then so like these create 4 attacks in one turn, and then you can make it 5. You can add on World Tournament Arena stuff. You can add on your announcer main and give them 5k. You can add beans on them that they restand afterwards, so it just becomes absolutely disgusting. The juniors is probably the highlight of this deck. The Supreme Showdown is just a nice finisher that can be added on. So now we're gonna get into the next deck profile, and before I do that, I want to make sure that I clarify something. Um, King Lim Ping King Piccolo, Limitless Power. Wow, that was really hard to say. Um, you play him on your when you have 4 energy. When you remove 2 World Tournament cards from the any battle area, you get to play him for free. I kind of missed that part. I went back listened to it, so my bad. Um, but this is more straightforward. This isn't as hard to understand. There's a lot less going on here. And we just have the Supreme Showdown package and like the secret rare. This is like all the deck does basically. You have battering, a yellow package, which you can slide into in the other deck, which is why we use this yellow super combos. If you don't want to do that, you can change those out. But yeah, if you want to try this deck out, please do go ahead. Feel free to. It's pretty straightforward. You're just going for this, and if you're not killing them, you're not killing them. Which is why I think the other list is way, way, way better. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to be on the lookout for more deck profiles in the time coming. I know we're brewing stuff with the anniversary box. Other people in the team are doing it. I know Zapp's doing it. So if you bug him enough, you might get some deck profiles. Have a good day.